Power of pillar. Power of pillar. What is the power of pillar? We have talked about power of pillar. Okay, I believe many one people, they would have seen Howrah Bridge. Howrah Bridge is a bridge on river Hooghly in Calcutta, connecting Howrah, that is Medinapur district, and Pargana district, that is Calcutta. So Howrah Bridge, very famous Howrah Bridge. And what is the specialty of Howrah Bridge? There is no pillar that from bridge to river, there is no pillar. It is a pillarless bridge. But actually there are two pillars. If this is the bridge, then there is one pillar at one end, there is another pillar at another end. So if this is Howrah Bridge, then there is one pillar at one end and another pillar at one other end. And if you see, watch this design very closely, then it is like this. Okay, from this pillar, there is a line like this, and all the iron that is connected, they are pulling this like this. If from this pillar, I take a straight line. Consider there is an iron bar I am taking. From this pillar, again there is an iron bar I am taking. These two iron bar I am I am connecting somewhere. Okay, or I took a pillar here only, whatever. Now this is the first pillar, this is the second pillar. Okay, if that is the case, then from this is the bridge. From bridge, I have a one line here, I have one bar here. More or less, it is connected in that fashion only. Now, if vehicle is going on, then these bars would pull this down because the vehicle will take it down. This bar will pull it down. Okay, in this case, when it is passing the half of the bridge, then it will try to pull it down. If it is like this and it is hanging on the first pillar like this, if someone is trying to pull like this, then it will try to make this pillar up. Okay, then how it will sustain? This pillar has to be very powerful. One side pillar and other side pillar has to be very powerful, very powerful. In that sense, whatever the pull is coming when vehicle is passing on the Howrah Bridge, whatever it is pulling down, more or less it will come to the top bar, even though it doesn't look like there's a top bar, but internally it is like that, effectively. And it will come to this pillar, and this pillar it will try to make a movement like this circular movement, and it will try to take out the pillar from the ground. Means that pillar in the ground, it is heavily concreted, so it is stable, it will always be stable. Now if that is the case, what is the design of a house? I am making a house, then I have made a wall. First what I did, I made a wall. On top of it, I placed a roof. Roof can be a concrete roof or roof can be temporary roof. What generally in the rain-fed area people make slant roof. Now what is the pillar of this house? Pillar of this house is the wall. Everything is hanging on the wall. Door is hanging on the wall. Window is hanging on the wall. Roof is hanging is on the wall. Wall has to be powerful. That is the pillar of the house. If wall is weak, then everything will fall down. This is called pillar approach. There is another pillar approach in mountain and river. We have talked about, right? River Ganga, River Yamuna, River Brahmaputra, River Indus, River Sita, that Yarkand River, all are hanging on pillars like River Yamuna and River Brahmaputra. They are hanging complete. River Ganga and River Brahmaputra, they are hanging completely on Mount Everest and Kanchenjunga. Brahmaputra is hanging on Kanchenjunga and Ganga is hanging on Mount Everest. These are the pillars. They are kind of supporting these two rivers. Nothing is made through earthquake or whatever it is. This is what people believe. Himalaya came because of our, it is a highly designed mountain and it was designed by King Bhagirath. Okay, if we see Indus River, then it is kind of hanging on K2 and Nanga Parvat. Means they are controlling the Indus. Otherwise, if someone breaks the Nanga Parvat and K2, use some methodology through bomb or something, for God's sake, no one would do. then Indus would dry out. Certainly it would dry because it is hanging on these two mountains. Like the Sita river or Yarkand of Tarim river, it is hanging on Jangis Choksu, that is the highest mountain in Tian Shan range. On that peak, Jangis Choksu, this or Khan Tegri, this is the second highest. On that, the Sita river is hanging. Someone can say it is equivalent to Ram because she is hanging, means she is on support of that mountain. Okay, if that is the case, then what about solar system? What about universe? That is under question mark. What about Earth and Mars? Earth and Moon? If that is the case, Earth and Moon, then Moon is complete. If we see the society, everything living on the Earth, they are hanging on the Earth. Earth has to be very powerful. Like Mount Everest has to be very powerful to sustain river Ganga, the mighty. If you see Brahmaputra, it is not called mighty Brahmaputra. It is Indus, it is not called mighty Indus. But whenever Ganga comes, mighty Ganga, because the current in Ganga is very high, and then in kilometers, width is kilometer, and current is very high, very high. In that sense, some very powerful pillar has to be there which will sustain the river Ganga. In that sense, Mount Everest cannot fall. Even earthquake comes, Mount Everest cannot fall. It is made like that. The top summit of the Mount Everest is one rock that is very high strength. Like that, if nothing should go breaking, Earth has to be very powerful. Not only that, Moon rotates around Earth, means it is on pillar of Earth. Earth has to be powerful. Then only Moon would rotate around the Earth. All the satellite would rotate around the Earth. Aeroplane would fly nicely, and wind would move, blow, and then the everything would be all right. Earth has to be powerful. If that is the case, if I grow more, then it looks like every planet has to be powerful to support its. And we are talking about the power of pillar, and how design happens in engineering side. Then, like Jupiter has more than 20, 30 satellites. Then Jupiter has to be very powerful to sustain all the natural satellites. In that case, everything is hanging on the sun. Full solar system is hanging on the how solar system is stable, because sun is the pillar of the solar system, and it is very powerful. Wherever sun is going, all around all planet, it goes with the sun. Okay, what are the criteria to be very powerful? One criteria is sun has to be very powerful, internal strength. Okay, next is sun moves. To sustain this much capability, sun moves. Sun moves around who? Moon is dependent upon power of earth. Moon rotates around earth. Earth is dependent upon power of sun, pillar. Then earth moves around the sun. Sun is dependent upon the power of the center, that is called galaxy, Milky Way galaxy. The center point is very powerful. That is a black hole. Okay, I believe Saga 2, Saga, I forgot the name. Okay, that there is a name of the black hole that is centered at the galaxy. Okay, Sagatua, something, Satua A. Okay, Saguard A, something like that. That is the name of the black hole that is centered at the Milky Way. Now, every star, along with its planet, they are revolving along the black hole. This means that black hole is the pillar, and it is very powerful, very powerful. That's why it is black hole. It is not normal star. Okay, like Earth revolves around a star. Earth do not revolve around a planet. Means the star has more power than Earth. Okay, satellite revolves around a planet. Satellite is not a planet. This planet is more powerful than satellite. Star is more powerful than than the than the planet. It proves that Mount Everest is much, much, much more powerful than River Ganga. It proves that wall is much more powerful than window and roof. Then only house will sustain. If someone is making pillar house, I don't want wall house, pillar house. Four pillars someone erected, and then he made a ceiling, and then on top of it roof. Now only that much is sustaining. Now wall I am filling outside, then window. Everything is hanging on the four pillar. Four pillars has to be very, very powerful. Then only it will sustain wall, and then windows, door, and ceiling and roof, because it is becoming smaller, right? Only four pillars, not the full wall. Then it has to be even more powerful. So star is more powerful than a planet. Planet is more powerful than a satellite. Then Milky Way, then the black hole is much, much more powerful than the stars. That's why it is sustaining the full galaxy. There, if many billions of galaxy, the billions of galaxies, they come together, they make a cluster. These are called galaxy clusters. This proves that all galaxies are revolving around the cluster. Cluster center may not be a black hole. This has to be researched. Black hole not is the most strength, the most strengthest entity, celestial body in the universe. There is something more. On top of it, the all black holes, I won't say all the galaxy, all black holes are dependent upon. That is the pillar. So pillar based universe is there. Now many clusters, they will be dependent of another cluster. Altogether, all the mega clusters, they are dependent upon a terminology called universe. This is how universe is made. Okay, if we see Earth, then Earth is tilted 23 degree on its axis. If we see solar system, the sun would also be tilted little bit on its axis. If we see Milky Way, then Milky Way also would be tilted along its axis. If that is true, then what about universe that is tilted upon? Universe is also tilted. How? What is the shape of universe? What is it? It is called Brahmand in Sanskrit. Brahmand. And means egg. The way the egg is looks, any egg, every egg has similar shape. One side it is spherical, a little bit narrow it will make. This is how the universe is. Okay. If that is the case, then egg is also tilted little bit. I believe it is around 30 degree it is tilted. This is my belief because no one has measured it. Around 30-degree universe is tilted on its axis. Now everyone would be have the question, if universe is, then universe would be rotating around someone, because universe would be hanging on someone. Okay, if earth is hanging on sun and Mars is hanging on earth, if house is hanging on wall and wall is hanging on pillars, if river Ganga is hanging on Mount Everest, then then all the stars are hanging on black hole and black holes are hanging on someone, then at the end finally it makes the universe. Then universe is hanging on who? That is called God. That is called God. This proves that God is realistic. It is not a fake thing, and full universe is rotating around the God. There is a term called God, and full universe is rotating around very, 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 very powerful God. Okay, so how God is made, what is its size, and what is the constituent of God particle. I'm not talking about general God. People think that there is some God. Okay, we are talking about this God. God means the celestial body on which the universe is rotating around with around 30-degree angle. This is what I believe. Around 30-degree angle, universe is tilted and with a egg shape. Egg shape is the universe, and in that the God is very tough though. Okay, so this is the kind of pillar architecture where I believe so that universe is also following. When everyone is following the architecture of pillar. In society also there is a pillar, right? In house also there is a pillar. If you see the family, then family runs on shoulder of some person. That is the pillar of the family. Everything has a pillar architecture. If that is true, then who is the pillar of universe? If that is a God, if I say God, or I can say any celestial body, very powerful, then that is God. So I won't say go and trust on the God blindly. I would say go and think about the power of God, estimate it, because everything is estimable, right? Black hole, someone estimate what is the power of black hole, how much it attracts. That is the power of black hole. Then what would be the power of God that people can imagine now?